Hello, my name is Samantha and welcome to today's video. Today we're going to review every craft fair I was at this year, whether it's worth going to again, if I made my booth back, and other opinions. All right, let's get started. So let's start off this whole video with a disclaimer that these are my own opinions. This is how I felt about each of these shows. I don't have anything severely negative to say about anyone. I'm not looking to spread hatred about any of these people. I'm just saying this was my experience. These are the sales that I made. Some of these I made my booth, some of them I did not. And that's it. It's a fact. Yes or no, did you make your booth? So with all that being said, let's get into the video. I have a spreadsheet put together. The link's down below. You can check it out. That's what I'm going to be looking down at. I have the spreadsheet on my iPad right here. So I had 17 events this year. And actually, when I put the spreadsheet together and I realized that it was 17, it really disappointed me. I wish I would have had 16 or 18, but whatever. So my very first event was having a table outside of Jun Lee Taekwondo for the belt test. I've known Master Lee for many years now, and he did it as a favor to me to let me be able to set up outside, and I was very grateful. I was so nervous. I was so happy to rip the Band-Aid off and to be able to, he didn't charge me, which was very kind, and to be able to set up a table, practice selling, use my square reader, figure out how to do everything was very, very helpful, and I appreciate it. So that first weekend, I was there. The first day I made $81, and the second day I made $54.99. So any of the places that I didn't have a booth fee, obviously I made the booth back because it was $0. However, that being said, how I have this spreadsheet set up is how much is the booth fee or the application fee, the total cost to be there, and then how much did I make in sales, the credit card fees, and if I got any tips. Tips are only on credit card. If you haven't watched my video, I have 2 of them now on 5 tips to make your square reader work harder for you. Please go ahead and check those out. I talk more about tips in there. I do not collect any cash tips. So that being said, also, this is sales. This is not profit. So did the booth fee and then the sales that I made. That's all I'm going off of right now. In some of these, let's say it was $200 to be there, I made $201. But I did not make $201 because that does not count the gas it took me to get there, the time of me being there, the cost of my materials, and any other overhead costs. This is just how much did it cost to be there and how much did I make in sales. So keep that in mind. And I'll also put pictures because it's so cool to see like my first booth versus my last booth. I'm so proud of how far I came in just, I think it was 8 months, like not even a whole year. And I feel so much more confident for next year. I know exactly what shows I want to I know exactly what shows I want to sign up for next year. Also on this spreadsheet, it tells you if the event was indoor or outdoor and who the contact was. I don't have any of their contact information, just the first name of the person that I worked with. And the only thing missing off of my spreadsheet is the website URL, but I'll go ahead and try and add those before this video is posted. So the second event I went to was at Bear Chase, and Bear Chase again allows you to set up for free. You just email with a woman named Leslie. She's so kind, so wonderful to work with, and all the vendors that I worked with there, I made such great relationships with, and I really love my time there. Bear Chase is my favorite brewery in all of Loudoun County, so even just if I made $0, being able to go there and look at the views and just enjoy being there, I really like it there. So the first time I went to Bear Chase, I made $87.92. So I made my booth back because it was $0. The next event I did was an indoor event at Blick and Hut in Lovettsville, Virginia. It was a pop-up event. I can't remember how many of us there were. I think there was like 10 of us. So that was the first time I did an indoor event. That was the first time there was multiple other people there with me. Well, I take that back. When I was at Bear Chase, there were other people. But I don't think that first day I went there was other people because when I first went, I went on a Friday. So actually, yes, Blick and Hut was the first time I was with other people. Blick and Hut, I believe she did not charge us anything. I have it $0 in my notes here, and I made $91.99 in sales. The next time was I went back to Bear Chase again, and I made $129.49 in sales. And then was my first paid event, was $400 at Chartreuse & Co. in Frederick, Maryland. And if I would have gotten a smaller booth sorry, not a smaller booth. If I would have gotten a booth just outside, I paid for the big tent, it would have been less money. So my booth was $400. That's because I was part of the big tent, because my big thing was that I did not want to have to go set up a tent. This event was 3 days, it was outdoors, so it was $400 my fee, and then I made $188.99, $101.99, $220.94, and so all of that added up, I believe, was somewhere around $500. So I did make my booth back, but not by a ton. And the other thing is that this location, something I learned that did not happen to me at any other of the locations. Again, learning process as I was going along. So what I had to deal with at Bear Chase was that it's windy because it's up on a mountain. So I needed to make weights for my displays and weights for my baskets to hold all of my product down. When I was at Chartreuse, it was outdoors and we were near the parking lot. So this meant every time a car went by, dust went up in the air. My products are paper and fabric. Therefore, all of my stuff was dirty. So my fabric, after I got home from that show, I had to vacuum every single product and lint roll it because I didn't want to put it in the washing machine. So for that reason, I would not do another show at Chartreuse unless I could do it inside. But that's just because of the products that I have. And it also taught me how to package my products differently so that this wouldn't happen again. So again, it's all a learning curve. Then I went to Bear Chase again and I made $116. Next was I got to set up at the next belt test in June at June Lee Taekwondo. I made $26 the first day and $26 the second day. Then I did the Luckett's Flea Market. This is, so Luckett's, you can be inside and be a vendor, a permanent vendor, or outdoors every weekend, Saturday and Sunday. You can pay $100 to be one of the people out in the parking lot. And when I signed up for this, I forgot to ask if there was going to be other people there. I ended up being the only person out there, which was really hard because I was just by myself. Plus I got rained out because there was a storm. So those are two things to keep in mind when doing an outdoor event is double check that there's going to be other vendors there because you don't want to be by yourself, and weather is a big factor. Luckett's is relatively close for me, so it wasn't like I had to pay a lot in gas, but the time it took me to set up and everything and then to get rained out was very frustrating. So, but obviously they can't control the weather. So that one I made $28 the first day and $77 the second day. Next was the Fredericksburg Kite Festival in Fredericksburg. This one was $135 for the booth, and this was a 10 by 10 booth. At most craft fairs, it's a 10 by 10 booth. And then I paid $105 to have them set up the tent for me. Because, like I said, when you have to do a single day event and you go set up your tent, set up your table, put your product out, and then you have to start selling, I cannot stand that because you are so sweaty and you're so gross and you're so like out of whack in your mind from like trying to think of how you're going to do your display that you can't even focus on making any sales. So I absolutely cannot stand setting up my own tent, but I don't like being outside anyways. So I paid for that. So it cost me $240 to be there. I had one sale and I made $8. So I absolutely did not make my booth back that day. And there was not very many customers either. I don't think that the event was very well advertised, but it also could have been because of COVID. So I don't know. That's the other factor on top of all these events that I did last year is COVID. I did not do in-person events before COVID, so I have no idea how to compare like previous sale versus a current sale. All I know is what I've seen. So again, that's just my opinion. July, I hosted my own event and I think I had 8 vendors. So I put it as my booth was free because for me it was free, but it wasn't. I had to pay for the venue and then I had the vendors pay me, and I made $30 the one day and $16 the next. But I also spent a lot of money on that event, so it ended up being pretty much a wash because the money I spent in advertising and marketing, and also like I bought pizza for everybody the one day and I bought snacks and stuff, so I maybe made like $50 for that whole event, and that was a lot of work. So anyways, August I did Bear Chase again and I made $65. in August, I also did the Leesburg World Heritage Festival, which was at Ida Lee, and this was the same people as the Fredericksburg event. And for that one, again, it was $35 for the 10 by 10 booth, and then I paid $105 to have the tent set up. And for that event, I made $20. So I did not do well at that event either. Next was Bear Chase again in October. I made $50 in sales. And then we have the 4 events left. So the 3 big events at Dulles Expo and then the church event. So also in October, I had the Capital Art and Craft Festival at the Dulles Expo Center. That one was $645 for 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then a $25 application fee. So it was $670 to be there. The first day I made $38, the second day I made $104, and the last day I made $115. So I was nowhere near making my booth back. I think I made like less than $300. Next was the Great Beginnings vendor fair in Leesburg. This was at a church, and it was $30 to be a vendor there, and they already had the table there and they had chairs, so that was pretty awesome. You only had to bring a tablecloth and your product, and I made $38 the first day and $118 the second day. And that was also the shortest event that I did the whole year, the least amount of hours, and I made well over my booth back, so I will 100% do that event again. Next up was the Northern Virginia Christmas Market, and that was at the Dulles Expo Center. It was $520 for so all the Dulles Expo and Chantilly events, they were not 10 by 10 booths. They were like 10 by 12 or 10 by 15. So they were larger booths, and they were 3 days. So this one was $520 for the booth, and then $100 for the application, so $620. The first day I made $96. The second day I made $222, which was the most I've ever made in a single day, and then $230 on the last day. And even then I did not make my booth back, but I was significantly closer than when I was there in October. The last event I did for the year was the Capital Art and Craft Festival, which was the same people in the Winter Festival, and that was the same people that were at Dulles in October. And so for that one, again, it was $645 for the booth, $25 for the application, so $670. I made $442 the first day, $586 the second day, and $164 on the last day. So that one I actually made my booth back. So out of the 3 times that I went to the Dulles Expo Center and spent about $700 to be there, I only made my booth back 1 time. So overall, 13 of the events I made my booth back, and 4 of them I did not. However, like I said, if it was a free event, I obviously made my booth back because it was $0 to be there to begin with. So it's kind of hard to, what am I trying to say? So I had $2,970 just in fees to be at these different events, and I had in sales $3,572. And this is, like I said, not counting the cost of gas, the labor, the materials, displays, my tables. I bought a new set of tables, 6 tables, and that cost me $222. So overall, I did not make any profit this year. I made a lot of knowledge profit, a lot of progress profit. I feel a lot more confident about next year, but I made $0 in sales profits because of how much it costs for me to do all these things. And like I said, all the overhead costs that aren't even included, because these numbers are not profit, they are sales. But even that being said, I made so much progress throughout the year. My first event versus my last were absolutely way completely different and such a positive change. So I have 10 events that I'd like to sign up for 2022, and this does not mean that I'm going to get accepted into all these events or that I'm actually going to be able to do all these events, and there might be different ones that come up along the way, but these are just the ones that I have my eyes on and I would like to do. So the first one is the Leesburg Flower and Garden. Oh, another thing is I want to try to not do outdoor events because, like I said, my product gets very dirty and I don't enjoy being outside. I don't enjoy, sweating and then being all hot and then your product gets messed up and then it's not enjoyable. I don't like it. The Leesburg Flower and Garden Show, the Ida Lee Spring Craft Fair, the EMG Virginia Beach Spring Craft Fair, the EMG Winter Show, the Capital Art Winter Show, the Capital Art Fall Show, Fairfax High School Winter Show, the Great Beginnings Vendor Fair, and the World Heritage Italy show are the ones that I would like to sign up for next year. I might go back to Bear Chase. I'm not sure right now. Like I said, I want to try to not do outdoor shows. As it stands right now, only two of these events are outside, which I'm all right with because of proximity, that they're relatively close. But I would much prefer being at an indoor show and being at a multi-day show, because then you set up and you leave it up for multiple days. That being said, I also want to do the Virginia Beach shows, which has an added cost of having to stay at a hotel and pay for your meals. You can't make food at home. So we'll see if the changes that I've made to my booth, and then also with my new name, that I will be successful at all my shows this year, even though that they are paid. I feel like my success rate is a little skewed for this year because so many of the shows that I did were free. I don't think that I did well at the shows that were paid, but I have made a lot of adjustments and I feel very positive about the shows for next year. Please let me know what your opinions are of all the information that I shared, or if there's shows that you wouldn't recommend, or if there's shows that you would recommend. Please leave them in the comments down below so we can all share knowledge. And I'm so happy I got to share all this information with you guys. I don't think that this is a secretive thing. I don't think that you shouldn't share how you did it in an event. I really wish when you applied for a show that it had a percentage of how many people that made their booth, so that you would know how good of an event it is. Most events will tell you how much the foot traffic was from previous years, but just because there's a lot of people does not mean you're getting a lot of sales. If you watched my event, or if you watched my review video of the church show that I did, we did not have many customers. Less than like maybe 30 customers both days total. But I did more sales than I've ever done at other shows. So just because you have more customers does not mean you have more sales. Just keep that in mind. But thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and have a wonderful day. Thanks.